All right. Pop quiz.
Pop quiz.
What are our
Fuck,
guideposts?
every week.
Yeah, I know. You guys, I can't believe you're surprised.
Every
What,
time. It's like I block it out.
Surprised every time.
what do we got? We got a guidepost? Ashley?
Don't yuck somebody's yum.
Don't yuck someone. That is my absolute favorite one. Natalie nodding in agreement. What you got, Natalie? You got a guidepost?
Have fun.
Have fun.
Have fun.
That is a fun one for me. All right, January.
Yourself.
Be yourself. Absolutely.
Look at us.
Yeah. I'm so glad. Yeah. Do we know what tonight's topic is?
Yeah.
What is it?
January.
If it makes you feel any better, he didn't remember until the other night.
Is Disney pricing out the normie?
Oh.
You guys.
Are we ready to get dank with it?
Welcome to the DANK Pod. Join us on our chaotic adventure of what it means to be Disney adults. Like, follow, comment, and share wherever you listen. Send any questions or feedback to us at thedankpod@gmail.com. This week, we're talking about Disney pricing out the normies. Let's get dank.
So is Disney pricing out the Normies? Who's on deck?
I gotta tell you.
Did we
what
schedule, what's his name, Josh, to be on?
Josh, I called Josh.
My dude.
Josh tomorrow. I asked to
Oh, I
send
thought
a
it was on my
request.
dad.
We bring up that loser. He lost to me. He lost the battle of my wife. I won. Can't get my wife. What? Josh tomorrow. I called Josh. I was like, hey, Big D. What's good? He was like, he's tied up, or he would have been here, but he's super tied up right now with the schedule. Running the happiest place on earth. Not yet. So I put in a good word for him with the board, though. So hopefully in the near future. If he does get it, it's because of me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So what say you?
So maybe he'll.
He'll join one day,
Yeah.
and then you hear like the Zoom, like something on the call.
Oh, can you imagine? Oh my God. Sorry, I'm late, guys.
Been 2 years you're late. Where have you been at? So where do we stand on
is-
this?
Is it the price seat out of the normies? I don't think. Yeah. I think it's not for the normies. No. I think it takes a lot to go to Disney, especially if you're out of state. At least for the locals, they can drive a couple hours and be here if they really wanna do it. But
So-
no, it's-
What is the price yet?
It's like $200.
Whoa.
I'm rounding
It
up.
depends on the day.
Yeah, but it's
Some
still pretty
days are
high.
higher than other days.
And the park, too. Does anybody have the Googles up? Dang it.
Calendar shows the price per day. See varying prices from one.
And the more you play, the cheaper it is. Like,
Well, but like, let's think normie, right?
okay, so qualifying normie.
I mean, you're not talking about an annual pass holder at the base. So there's probably different levels of normie, right? You have somebody who's going for a day, you have somebody that's going for a couple of days, and then you have a normie pass holder.
What's a normie person? In general, like what's the income level of a normie?
A household that's less than $200,000.
A household? How many people are in that household?
You're talking about 2 working adults in a household.
I mean, it just depends because you could make $200,000, and if you have 17 kids, it's still not going to be enough. So all those things are factors.
In 2024, the average annual salary in Florida was approximately $49,261.
Dang.
What,
Damn.
what's
Then
the,
a living wage for a single adult was estimated to be around 46.
That's a single adult. That's not including offspring.
Right.
the median household income? Anyone want to take a shot at it for the house in the
71.
United States? Yeah, it's in the ballpark. Yeah, it's like, so for the U.S. across nationally, the average is a little bit higher, and that's for four person families. So now you're balling on that budget. What do you?
So we're like in the 70,000 category.
Yeah, let's say anywhere between $70,000 to $75,000 is our ballpark. That's our budget. That's it. Annually, you got 4 people in your house. Are you able to go to Disney World?
Is there a second income?
No, that's a household income.
Household
That's
income.
everybody at
Wait,
that
I'm
address.
sorry. What was the household income again?
70 between 70 and 75.
And how many kids did we say we have?
2,
And wait, so there's 2 adults and 2 children?
correct.
Do we have a mortgage?
I don't know.
Oh, see, all those things are factors.
You have a housing expense, right? So you have
Yeah,
to have
of
a
course.
mortgage or you have rent.
But
Like,
right, but rent could be sometimes, if
We're not
if
trying
you
to.
wanna, if,
We're trying to figure out if Zillow's boxing out the normies. Trying to figure out if Disney is. So
Yeah,
my-
there's
but my-
housing expense.
yeah, oh yeah, I completely agree. You know your
And
course.
mortgage can be in the same bucket.
household,
Right. No,
your
I
your
understand,
expenses.
but it could be two very different buckets as well. You could be paying $1,300 for
Yeah.
a 3-bedroom, or you could be paying $2,000.
Uh,
So that's a drastic difference.
Ma'am, if you're paying $1,300 for a 2-bedroom, sign me up. Or a
I'm
3
telling you,
bed.
someone who's paying $1,300 for a 3-bedroom.
Oh,
And it's
shit,
actually
that's a
less than
bargain.
that.
That's a
So
bargain.
that's exactly what I'm saying. And if you're
All right.
making 70,000, then of course you can do that. But again, if you have a 2-bedroom that you're paying 2,100 for, like again, all these are factors. So yes,
Yeah.
normies, 2 incomes, obviously, hopefully more feasible than one, depending on what they're making. Maybe one of the kids doesn't deserve to go. Maybe you leave one behind. I don't know. Maybe you take the straight
You
student.
gotta go in the parking lot. You just crack the window. You come in after lunch. Lick and
But-
transfer the stamp, the hand stamp. What is it, SeaWorld?
Yes,
No.
yes, yes.
So, okay, so imagine your current household expenses, right, whatever they are, and then tack on, I don't know, how much is daycare these days?
A mortgage.
Listen, if we're going to Disney, they're not in daycare, and if they're in daycare, they're
Good
not going
call.
to Disney.
Good call. Good call. They're school age. So now you got to buy,
Absolutely.
so you got to buy 4 tickets. And
And there's only like a 2-cent difference between the adult ticket and the child ticket under what, 13 or 12?
Yeah.
What is it?
yeah, it's
Okay,
it's
so
like a
right
$4.
now they have a special offer.
They know this.
$267 per ticket per adult.
Wait, 260 what? No, but that's not.
67.
Is that a multi pass? What is that?
Yes, for 3 days.
Okay, that's important.
Ma'am.
3 days, 3 parks. Does not include Magic Kingdom.
I want to know what the single.
Oh,
day is.
is it a Florida resident?
No,
No.
it does not say Florida resident. It's just a special offer.
That's a shitty ticket to
It's a
get.
promo that they're.
Did you hear what she said, Natalie? No
It
magic.
does not include magic. That's ridiculous.
That's iconic. You know, how do you come to Disney World and not go to Magic? But yeah.
Well,
Can you
I think
imagine, like, you just
probably-
pass by the castle as you're on the monorail to get off at, like, Hollywood? That's terrible. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, exactly. That's a shitty day. That sounds like a shitty package. But I think Natalie's right. You have different levels. So you have this like median household income for 4 kids. Sorry, 2 kids, 2 adults, 70 to 75K hanging out. So let's split in the middle, 72,000, whatever, annual income. And then you have to get here, have accommodations. You've got to
Flight, gas,
yep,
rental car.
ticket costs, So you got to say, like, if it's just the act of getting a ticket, sure. You could probably, what's 4 times 180?
$120.
$720, right? It's 1% of your annual income gone. And that's just for one day, right? And if you're,
And that we haven't even eaten yet.
oh, you wanted to eat? You wanted
Children want
sustenance?
to eat.
So Natalie, you and I arguably grew up, like if the poverty level was up here, we were down. You and I were maybe like, we were floating, like just.
You're right. We're
just
packing up
above.
sandwiches.
Yeah.
It's got to be done.
Thank you. I had my lunch when we went on field trips was like a jam sandwich, 2 pieces of bread.
Jam?
Yeah, it's 2 pieces of
I
bread
don't want that.
jammed
Can't.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, like so we definitely didn't grow up like January with a silver spoon and everything. I was just pulling your leg, January. I tried to get you going. But yeah, so I think you got to look for those shortcuts, right? So if the park is the experience, I think something my mom used to do when we would go on vacation is 90% of what you ate at the park was like you packed your sandwich or you brought your bottles of water in a soft cooler or whatever. And then maybe you had one sit-down meal at the park in the evening.
Yeah, that's cute. You had the one sit-down meal? No, 0 meal.
And when I say that, I mean like pizza.
That's still food.
That's the
That's a $5. That's a $5 slice, and I'm being modest with it because it's probably like 9.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that's being that's a bargain at $5. Yeah, what did we have recently where it was like each plate was like $18? What kind of world are we living in when it was like? I think we spent like $35 at a meal. This is how bad Disney got us. We went out to eat in Kansas, and the bill was $35 or something like that. And Ashley was like, "Dang, that's cheap. It's 2 of us." And yeah, so go to Disney, and $35 is for 1 of us. Now multiply that times 4. You're talking about, it's got to be challenging to have that limitation, that salary limitation, and bring your entire family of 4 to the parks. How would you beat it? How do you beat besides packing lunch, how do you beat it? What do you do?
I mean, I think
Well, you want go ahead.
I was going to say, I think the pass holder payment plan is kind of a way to beat it. I mean, it's basically an interest-free loan, the way that we're paying that off. We're not
Right,
dropping,
absolutely.
what are we paying, like 800 a ticket or 900? Or no, we're at
1,000 a
1,000.
ticket.
I'm sorry. So it's 1,000. We had to put a down payment down the first time, and then it was monthly payments. It is an annual contract, so we have to physically go in and choose whether or not to renew, right? And then it puts us into another contract. The monthly rate goes up after the first year because you lose that credit of the initial deposit. So I mean, honestly, you and I are paying what, $75 a month per pass, give or take a few
I know.
bucks. And to me, that's girl math. It's coming out. I didn't have to pay it. I didn't have to budget. We've already budgeted for it because it's already coming out. You know what I mean? So to do that for a family of 2, possibly 4, is a potential way to mitigate the cost over a period of time without it being dropped on a credit card and accruing interest there.
I love that for you.
Yeah, but some people still put that same monthly charge on their credit card.
Yeah.
That's true.
Also, you just
I did
multiplied
some-
that ticket by like from $700 and whatever to $4,000, and you have to be a Florida resident to do that.
I did some forum searching. I have 2 very opposite ends on the spectrum for spending.
Okay. Hit us.
So one person said factoring in flights, hotels, park tickets, food, the family of 4 spent over a little 8,000 on their 4 days there.
Yeah.
Wow,
I see it.
2,500 a day. Or sorry, 2,000 a day. But that's
Then somebody else said we spent 2,500 on our family of 4 for 7 days. So
Oh, they were
Somebody
camping out in
asked-
the car.
Please tell how. And they explained that they made breakfast and 1 meal in the room versus eating out 3 times a day. They only planned 1.
Mom. Is that you?
Food will definitely set you back, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think a way around that, like we were saying, also is like making sure you have like a breakfast or something like to hold you down, and then just packing up things to hold you down throughout the day.
There are
And
non-Disney
also-
hotels that help with that too. So like the Drury Plaza is technically not a Disney bubble hotel, but it is very close to the Disney bubble, and they do have like a hot breakfast, if I'm not mistaken.
Like a continental breakfast?
Yeah, I think so. But maybe even a little bit bigger. I also think they do like evening appetizers or something, but a lot of people say that a lot of those options are actually very filling, and they treat it as a dinner. So I think if you're smart in the meal planning process, in addition
yeah.
to hunting down those deals, then you can get lucky. But again, if you're talking about the normal everyday person, like how many people have the time and the bandwidth to sit down and micromanage that process?
It's true.
I don't want to do it.
Legit. I can barely live.
Right.
I think it's just a little bit different because you're planning for X amount of days, so it's not like a last minute decision. Like it could be like this is a game plan. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
whether it's we're gonna grab a protein shake, a protein bar, or protein this, a protein that, and make sure like
Top right.
you're right. We're definitely not grabbing top ramen unless you're gonna like let it sit out in the sun for 8 hours.
But you can do like Pop-Tarts, Uncrustables. You don't like jam.
Yeah, I don't think it's the norm either. I
Uncrustables
don't-
are
I don't-
expensive.
You gotta-
Like
His sister had the square ones. I was like, oh, when they start making these square. And she said, those are Aldi.
those are Aldi.
Why? So do you have to have the brand when it comes to that?
No,
No.
he was just super intrigued by it. Like, oh, when did they start making them square? This is a fun new
I
shape, he
see.
thought.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, we have like the press. We have the sandwich press to like pop out the crust. And so you could make that at home with whatever you like and then throw them in a Ziploc, tote them along, freeze them, and then bring them over with you. I think stay off property. You know, like stay at a...
Yeah. I think that you're going to save money.
For sure.
When you
For sure,
buy-
staying on property. I mean, also comparing because staying at at the Pops, sometimes those prices will surprise you if you're not, and they might not always, but they might sometimes be lower than properties that are surrounding the Disney property.
Yeah, that's fair, especially when you because I was thinking there was that one place we stayed and it was the big family thing. Remember, you ended up getting the resort really cheap through
It's
the,
like probably like $40 a night.
yeah. Well, we had points or something, so
I
that's
think it was
another
like
life hack.
Cypress Point.
Yeah, but it was an off-site hotel resort actually, and it had all. We actually ended up getting like a 2-bedroom. I think it had a full kitchen.
Oh yeah, had a full kitchen. It
There
was
were
a
multiple
2-bedroom with a living
pools.
room.
It had buses that went to the parks. And so I think the family, because this was a family event, so the family ended up, like my dad was like, reimbursing the kids or whatever. And the other kids had to pay like $100 or $150 a night. We got ours for like half the price, or like $50 a night. We had points and stuff that went towards it, but like he had to pay me less than he paid the rest of the family back for it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so yeah, if you have those, those apps like Hotel.com or Booking.com or something like that, where sometimes you can contribute points to a hotel stay, that could dramatically reduce costs.
You ready for this? 2-bedroom suite with mobility access, roll-in shower, $152 a night. Transportation is a thing, though, right?
Like right now?
No, absolutely, yeah.
So
And
like,
that's another thing too. Like if you're, like for example, again, if you're coming in from out of town and you happen to fly in and maybe you didn't rent a car and you do stay on property, you don't have to worry about transportation being an issue. Although it does make sense to probably get a car. I don't know. Kids are different. You have to be ready with kids. Crazy.
car seats, all sorts of stuff. Yeah, so I think, it's got to be, it's a challenge that we may have experienced when we were kids. And the solution, what was the solution your mom used, Natalie, for Disney?
Well, again, she only took us the one time. She won the tickets, so that was free. She won 4 tickets, and there was only me, her, and my sister. So she was an infant. So she talked to her friend. Well, she gifted her friend and her daughter the other 2 tickets for her to drive, so she didn't have to pay for parking or drive. And then she packed the sandwiches.
Yeah.
And I remember like her prepping and packing the sandwiches, and we didn't have to spend money out there on food.
I think that's the model.
Maybe.
That's the blueprint.
For sure.
Win the tickets.
She did great.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, I mean, my mom's solution was don't go.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't think I went with my parents.
You went with your grandparents, though.
Yeah, but not my parents. Like we didn't go on a family trip. I never even went with my sister.
Really?
Yeah, no, she wasn't born. And so my trips with the grandparents stopped the second that the other kids were born.
Those assholes came
Yeah,
along
how
and
do
ruined
you,
you.
right?
Life.
From the get-go, man. So it was good for the first, from ages like 3 to 5. But then those other cats were born and I was done for.
That sucks.
They never took me again.
I'll take you all the time, baby.
I think I take you.
I agree. So I think part of the struggle for me was trying to figure out the rate at which prices have increased at the parks. And then
It's ridiculous. Oh, and remember when you called me out and you're like, oh, I don't think that was his dream? That was definitely his dream.
I looked it up later. And for your information, ma'am, I was completely 1,000% wrong. It was
Thank God we're recording right now because we'll
Yeah.
never hear it again.
it was definitely part of his dream, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And so like, it definitely has strayed a long way from that.
So thinking about
I
okay,
get to do a lot. Like I think about concert ticket.
okay. How much is a
and you
concert
go to see
ticket?
somebody for 1 to 2 hours, and concert tickets can start anywhere from 100 up to 500.
That's interesting.
Especially if you're seeing just one person.
Yeah. I don't go to, like, Ashley asked me if I want to go to a football game. The Eagles are playing in Tampa this year again. And she's like, do you want to go there? And I'm like, no, it's like $1,000 a ticket to get shitty seats. I'm not interested in that.
And they have no cover there.
Yeah. Intentionally no cover.
If you sit on the opposite side,
You fucked.
hot as hell,
Yeah.
no shade.
Yeah. I'm not interested in that. For the amount of money we spend on that, I can throw 2 more Super Bowl parties. And I fully
It's
intend
probably
to do
better
that.
to see them in Miami.
Dang, remember the Phillies that came
The
in?
stadium's
imported?
nicer in Miami.
The stadium was amazing in Miami.
It's
Our
gotten a lot
friends,
better.
Gave us some tickets to see the Dolphins play once,
Nice.
and that was cool.
It's an
I've never
interesting
been to a-
experience.
Yeah, we went. Like I kind of want to see every sport played in the
So,
field out there. So that was cool. It's a whole vibe.
Yeah.
I don't know football. I don't follow football. I don't know the rules. I don't know the points. I don't know any of it. But you're like, yeah. I don't know.
She was in it. The energy had her.
There's a high energy there for sure, and it starts in the parking lot hours beforehand too, with tailgating.
Yeah, for shame.
And then
Tailgate. Oh my God! You know what? That could be another one. You could tailgate at Disney. No, don't tailgate at Disney.
You
They'll
could.
definitely escort you out.
I think that's what
No,
Disney
no.
Springs is.
No, I mean, no, you can tailgate at Disney. I don't think there's anything
Oh.
wrong with that.
You know what? Just hit me right now. Bring a cooler.
Yeah.
Keep it in the car.
Yeah.
You can go back and forth. There's re-entry. It's not like it's EDC.
Exactly.
You can go in. Oh, we need a break. Go back to the car. Eat. Come back and keep going.
Yeah,
That's really hard for Magic.
I was getting. Yeah,
Whoa.
you're right.
Yeah, that's your whole day.
Did you know you can walk from Magic to the parking lot?
Yes. From the hotel.
You can walk. You have to you can walk from Magic Kingdom all the way back to the main parking lot in Magic Kingdom without having to take the ferry or
That's like a
monorail.
6-year hike.
It's definitely it's level B or C. 100%. And you got
I think it's probably closer to C.
you got to keep moving. It's between 30 to 50 minutes
Just keep
to do
moving.
it, but you got to know you got to know where you're going, and then B, you got to keep moving because you have to walk out past the Friendship Boats to the resorts, and then take the walking path around the Seven Seas Lagoon and go past that. What's that pretentious resort? The Plantation one?
Grand Floridian.
The Grand Floridian.
Correct. Yeah, and then you gotta go past through the chapel and take the back route through Polynesian, and then it's easy to get lost in Poly, but then you pop out by the ferry. So, yeah.
I don't know why, but when you said the Polynesian, it made me think Dole Whip. And then it made me think that Menchie's had a pineapple Dole Whip for cheese.
You're just bragging about how good you are with your dessert, and how you're
mean,
only
it's
trying to do
frozen
level A
yogurt.
walking.
It's frozen yogurt.
It's
Let me check what time they
Are the
close.
calories the same?
I have no idea. It probably is sugar. So so Natalie, that was a fantastic point there that you made. Like, yeah, you can put a cooler in the car. You can get a bucket of chicken, put your chicken on the dashboard, and then
That'll
come
be
out.
hot
It'll be
all
Be
day.
nice and sizzling.
Oh my god! Because it gets more than 100 degrees in there.
Hell yeah! Your car's gonna smell
I
like
feel like
all the herbs and
We
spices.
should test it and bake a potato.
Okay, I was gonna say like you test that chicken. I'm gonna be fine not testing
No, baked
dashboard
potato.
chicken. Can we get some dashboard chicken nuggets, please? Baked potatoes.
Get like one of the little mini
Yeah.
cookie sheets
Yeah.
and put a potato up on your dashboard.
Put in some aluminum foil, a little pat of butter on there. Stick it on your dashboard. Go ride something wherever.
Oh, we
Getting
can
on
make
it.
brownies.
You probably
Dessert
could.
can be ready when we come back.
Yeah, your dessert. No, you could. Don't bring the milk.
No, don't. I know not to bring the milk.
But yeah, you totally put a toss a cooler in the back. Especially cooler technology has improved dramatically, right?
Yeah, man, you could wear one on your backpack.
Right, and it's like they're also like $1 billion now. Like what does a Yeti cost?
Oh, a Yeti's high up there.
I don't.
They're over like
Do
$200.
they really have proprietary like cooling technology? Like,
When you put something in it, how does it know to keep it cool, or how does it know to keep it
If
hot?
you're supposed to activate it. You don't just throw in there and it just.
well,
does
she
it.
was ready for you, sir.
You're supposed to activate the Yetis and the coolers.
You have to turn them on.
It's a process.
It's like
Like a
You're
woman.
supposed to throw a bag of ice in there before you use it.
Yeah, you gotta cool it down before you expect it to keep your shit cool.
You tell it to keep it cool. Is it like where do you put the oil in the air fryer?
Horrible.
Yeah, same thing.
You're not
same
supposed
concept.
to use oil when you use it.
Yeah, so like, so you get a cooler, you throw your snacks in there, your sandwiches, your homemade Uncrustables, and y'all get a bottle of water? Y'all take a reusable bottle of water, right?
Yes.
Tell me when you remember. Tell me about it.
Tell you about the water bottle?
Yeah, and yeah, because you invested. You definitely invested in the clip for it, but
Oh yeah, the clip was actually one of the most affordable things you can probably ever buy at Disney. It's actually cheaper to buy at Disney than it was to buy on Amazon.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I looked up the price.
With our annual pass holder discount that isn't always applied. So you really
Gotcha.
want to take advantage of those.
Yeah, I think we got 20% off.
Speaking of which, I just got an alert from Disney about drink in the Magic. Summer is almost here, pass holders, and we're raising glasses. Well, thank God, I thought they were going to say raising prices to all.
Right as we're talking about pricing.
Right?
Oh, my
to all the sunshine-filled fun in store with this exclusive tumbler. It looks like it's like an Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios
Sniffy?
kind of tumblery thing going on. It's an alert.
Let's see.
I have my eye on the tumbler that is spill proof.
Can you see it? I can't see
I
it.
can't
wait.
see. Next time.
Yeah, I can just send a sticker.
That's what I thought you were gonna do, but I just wanted
My goodness. Yeah. So we've taken like cups or like portable, like refillable collapsible drink bottles. I haven't found one that I like.
I have a thing
For
about water.
portable cups.
Yeah.
I think for us it's important, like the installation, just because it gets so hot. Like I like to, like my method would be like to fill it with ice and fill it with water, and then like freeze a couple water bottles, and then keep them in the bag, and then as they melt, like I've already drank my water and just keep refilling. The ice kind of, depending on the day, it's actually pretty surprising.
So I think I like that. I just don't like to carry a whole bunch with me. You never know when you got to run, So I like to stay mobile. I like to stay agile.
Well, the thing is, you and I are different because in no circumstances will I be running. So-
We're trying to trip somebody,
No,
so you don't
I mean,
like.
no. If someone's going to chase me, I'm going to turn around and we're going to have a conversation. Or things are going to go down, but I'm not running. Isn't going to do anything for me.
Just like, I gotta negotiate my way out of this one. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think what I started to do is like I'll just buy a bottle of water when I get there, and then I'll refill it throughout the day.
Okay.
I see.
I like ice cold water.
I can deal with, and I think my tolerance level for water is not as sensitive as others.
And not all the parks are priced equally either,
Yeah,
right? The different parks have different prices on different days.
yeah.
Damn.
So let's take that. Let's factor that in. So I think we got the food situation's easy, right? You're packing it.
yeah.
You're bringing a cooler. You got that under control, right? Even if you're staying, you don't have to eat dinner at the park. You can go off property on your way back to your off property bargain hotel and get Little Caesars at $5 hot and ready, right?
These are facts.
Are they still $5?
I don't know. I like to say that.
Oh my gosh.
I hope they
Let's
are.
see.
You can't. you
Chili's
get-
doesn't have 2-for-1s anymore.
You shut your
World-
feet.
Are you serious? No 2-for-1s?
Yes. No more 2-for-1s.
Who do they think they are?
I don't know. They're tripping because that's why else would
What
you
is
go?
this world
That's
coming
what I'm saying.
to?
You can't even get a $5 foot long. You can get a $5 7.5 inch though if you try hard enough, or like $5 sushi day at Publix, but it's always like California rolls only. That sucks. Yeah,
I'm checking how much the hot and readies are because now you made me curious.
well, that's important. I think if you're trying to feed a fan, like what do you want to put in? Right, you want to put calories in because you're doing a whole bunch of walk-ins. You want to put calories in, and
Yeah, but you don't want them to be empty calories either. You definitely want to sustain.
as adults, I think I would just eat pizza 6 or 7 days a week if you left me to my own devices. So a
That's
$5.
a lot of pizza.
I mean, I think Ashley would do that too. Plus, aren't you like a slut for chicken tenders, Ash?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And pizza, let's be honest.
You know what I can eat every day is tacos.
I love tacos.
Oh, okay. So that's good. Did I tell you my Chipotle hack? It's not my Chipotle hack, but it's a hack. So the things that they don't charge extra for are double rice, double bean, double wrap.
Okay.
So
They don't charge you for double wrap.
No, ma'am.
Well, I feel like they don't. I feel like also they don't charge you for the double wrap because like they try to fix it sometimes with a second wrap, like when it gets out of control. Like my hack when I try to like run behavior, I won't get like I'll do salad and stuff, but like I'll try to get like extra lettuce and just I hope that they make me a good bowl. But when I get home, I'll use like the low carb wraps and have like make my own like tacos or like maybe
I got you.
there's I don't think
Yeah, it
it's
doesn't look.
$5 anymore, guys. I
that
think they're
sucks.
$7.99 now.
That's
Damn.
I know. that's
Even
a-
Domino's, you can get like the 2 for $6 or something, isn't it?
well, you could get like
Maybe it's $6.99 now.
yeah, it might be like $7 medium pizzas or something like that.
No, they still
my
have the 2 or more for. I thought it was $5.99.
Well, maybe.
Let me ask who.
So
Steve.
what were we talking about? Yeah, I think the
You were trying to tell us about your Chipotle hack.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
We were out to when I had to start carb loading for Kansas, and I had to eat like 800 grams of carbs a day. I had to go from like less sub 40 grams of carbs to 800 grams of carbs a day. That's an enormous amount. The best way to get that for me was like rice and Chipotle. So I went in and ordered 2 Chipotle burritos, and it was just I was like double rice, double wrap, double bean. And he was like, at the end, when he handed me legit 2 footballs, and he was like, he was looking at me, and I was like, yeah, man. He was like, well, you're going to eat this? And I was like, yeah. No, I'm going to eat
Or
it
no,
once.
he was
I'm
like,
gonna eat it twice.
this is a big burrito. But then he looked up at Jonathan and he was like, you're a big dude. like he's tall, right?
It was
we got to
good.
feed you.
It's good. That's the best.
It was legit the biggest like wrapped sandwich thing I'd ever seen him bring
Should've
home.
weighed it.
Yeah, oh, it was out of
So-
control. I don't
So
know if I
Google
picture.
says that that the price is now, it went up to $5.55, but it's now $5.99. But I'm not seeing it here. The cheapest one I'm seeing is $7.99 on their site.
Are we still
I have-
talking about Little Caesars?
Yeah.
I have pricing for 1-day park tickets.
Okay, that's more relevant. Yes, carry on.
Little Caesars.
So if we want to go this Saturday, Magic Kingdom, open till 10, 184.
Hot dog.
That's almost $200. Wait, that's before tax. Time out.
Yep.
Pause. What's
This
the
is for
price?
1 day.
Yeah, that's after tax is going to pass $200.
Yeah, that's why I said
A day.
$200 a day. You guys didn't believe me.
Yeah.
Epcot is 169.
Dang.
Disney Hollywood Studios 179.
Oh, man. Wah. If only we could bring you in for a meeting. Set all this shit down.
Well, soon we're going to have the animatronic version of him. We'll be able to ask him. He'll be like, no, I'm all about the money. Okay. So
I would pay less if they offered a, hey, come visit the park, but don't ride any rides ticket.
Oh. Well, because some people, yeah, why not? There's people who genuinely do not ride rides.
Yeah,
They're
I'm
either there
indifferent
for
about
other
most of them.
people. Right.
That's how it used to be.
That's what I'm saying. I was taking it back for a second there because that's how Walt probably made it affordable, right? Or he made it, an experience and more expensive is by having these a la carte rides. But I would pay, a fraction of the price for a ticket if it meant no rides. I
mean,
I could live without the
yeah.
rides when it comes, when we do take the kids, our niece and nephew, that would get harder. But like most of the time when Jonathan and I go, we don't ride rides.
Yeah, on occasion. But like,
It's rare.
so they used to do, like when in 71, you used to be able to just get a ticket and then you would have to buy a book of ride
Like
tickets.
a carnival.
Yeah.
I'd be down for that. Listen up, Josh.
Yeah. It's interesting because I think of it as like, I mean, it's cyclical, right? Like we've been down that road. We're going to go, for him to redo it and relive it is just, I don't know.
It's a recession.
Okay. That's a great point. Do you think, I was trying to see if I had a picture of those burritos. Do you think, they're good size. Do you think that if we end up in a recession that we're going to see a rollback of prices?
No, it's never going back.
I mean,
That's what I'm saying. You got to
It
get
can't go
creative
back.
on other
They're
sides.
stripping. No, they're not going to go back. You're in such denial. I would, as a matter of fact, why don't you tell me in the history what theme park has been like, besides SeaWorld?
you can't take that from me. You can't take SeaWorld from me. That's the
Got
one.
him.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's because they need help.
Yeah,
That's not
what
the
I'm saying.
one.
SeaWorld
That's not
is
because
on
of the
life support.
economy. That's because
Right.
of Blackfish.
Blackfish.
Yeah, so I think what we start to see are bundle deals pop out. So like their single day tickets kind of hold steady for a long time, or not a long time, but they hold steady. We don't see a reduction in the price. But what we do see are bundled tickets that drop down in price. So like 4-day for $200, 4-day for
It has not been
180
4
bucks.
days for $200 in a while.
I know, but what was it 4 days for $240 this year for Florida residents. So we'll start to see those bundle tickets kind of pop out. I think, didn't we used to get like 4-day for like
$100. Do you remember that?
Dang.
That must have
back
been
in
like
my day.
2013 though. Like that was
And that's what's even more crazy when you start, like, sometimes when you think how far back, you're like, dang, that was a long time ago. But then sometimes you think you're like, dang, that wasn't that long ago.
I mean, it was definitely a while ago, but
No, we used to
Yeah,
get
it was in the 70s.
But
We
I
used to
do
get it at
remember
Publix.
doing like 4 days for 175. Like I think the last one that we did. I'm trying to think of when we did this.
we did it at we would get them at Publix.
I don't know. I get them anywhere, but
Yeah, no, we would get them at Publix for that. We'd also didn't we get the Power Pass? The first year the Power Pass at Universal was like $100.
I don't remember how cheap it was, but it was dirt cheap.
It was like a whole year pass. It was like SeaWorld money.
Yeah.
But that was also a very long time ago.
Yeah.
Like 2016 is probably being generous.
Yeah.
It's a different time.
Yeah, whole 9 years back.
It was back when people could live on $50K a year and be like
Oof.
extravagant.
Back when rent prices were more
You
sustainable.
remember rent prices?
All right, so what's the consensus here? Disney pricing out the normies?
Yeah, I think so.
How about you, Natalie?
Yeah, not for normies.
I think it's a struggle for the normies.
And January?
300 a day is pretty steep.
Yeah.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
All right, go ahead. Give it to me, Horshack.
I know we did the median, da da da. What's the average pay per hour? Let's hit it. Hit it. Just per hour. I don't want salaries.
Per hour? You want me to take a guess? 25 bucks?
Yeah. 25. No, I don't think so. You're tripping. That's
No,
not.
I think it's more like less than 20. It's probably like
yeah, I
18
think it's
or
like
19.
18 to 19. Let's hit it on the higher end and hit it with the 19 an hour.
What does the Google say?
Are we talking about in Florida though, or all over?
I
It's worth. Oh, I was just, overall, I'm just getting into, because the minimum wage in Florida, what is it now?
Oh,
Like
pennies.
15?
No.
Yeah, it's like $4.
No, it's like
No.
It's like 8. I think is probably being optimistic.
You're so cute. Minimum wage is not $8.
Are you sure?
The
I'm
average
positive.
the average hourly wage in the United States is currently
Not in the United States.
$36.24.
Yeah, again,
How much?
that wasn't my question. What is the minimum wage in Florida?
Well, that wasn't
That was
your
not your
first
que- that was not your
ma'am.
question.
No, I know. But when I was just talking to Ashley, my original, but it's definitely. And it's
Oh,
so-
it is
I
$14.
get it. Let me answer the
It's-
question.
In
Yeah,
Florida,
there you
the
go.
minimum wage will be $14 per hour starting September 30th, 2025.
That's not a lot.
It's like 13 something right now.
The current minimum wage is $13 per hour. The increase to 14 is scheduled for September 30th.
$300 a day divided at 13. What is it, guys?
Oh no, you got to knock off. You got
You gotta
to knock.
work.
You
You
got to
gotta
knock
work
20%
23
off.
hours to spend
Before taxes.
spend one day, and
You
that's what.
you
And that's
gotta-
what- you don't have enough because they're gonna tax you on this.
I was
bitch.
gonna say you got to
Okay.
knock off 20% of that, or 18. Take out 18% of your $13.
So basically, you have to work for a
Yeah.
month, let's be honest, because there are other taxes and deductions that are happening on everybody's paycheck.
My goodness. I mean, it's a better part of a week. So everything's said and done. It's a better part of a week for somebody who's working minimum wage. So if you're making, because what is that, $28,000 a year? If you're making $28,000 a year, you're not going to Disney, unless you're an annual pass holder and you bought yourself the Pixie Pass.
A Pixie Pass.
Ashley
But
just
you
did
still
math.
have to save up for the
What numbers you come
deposit.
up with, Ashley?
You forgot. You still have to save up for the deposit.
Yeah,
Before taxes, it's $27,040.
that's good, right? I wasn't too far off of my mental math there. Okay, so what's the deposit of a Pixie Pass?
Actually, it's only like $100.
So you have to work.
They just lowered the deposit prices on the APs.
interesting.
Ooh, you know why? Because it's not for the normies. They're like, if we're gonna get their monthly money, we need to drop this down.
I mean,
So we can lock them
honestly,
in.
I think Disney was a little nervous about Epic this year because they rolled out an ass ton of promotions for the summertime.
Yeah.
We're talking 30-40% off of resorts. There are dining discounts in the upwards of 40% at some of their resort dining locations. They're doing kids eat free in 2026 with certain packages from ages 3 to 9.
Oh,
They
yeah,
they
that's
dropped a
solid
lot
figure.
of information in a very short time.
Sounds like they're trying to roll prices back,
I mean,
No,
they're not rolling
never.
prices back, but they're trying to make it more
Right.
enticing in different ways.
more affordable. All right, so I have one. This is gonna be against the grain here, but
Not you.
I know, right? Follow me on this one. I used to tell, when we were working in the service industry, I would tell people to raise the price of their service until people complained heavily, and then maybe dial it back a little bit. But
People have been complaining about their prices for years.
hold on, now,
Hold on,
now.
let 'em
Let
finish.
me get through it. Let me get through it. But if I have, and actually break out the calculator for this one. Let's just choose like a set of like 100 people. All right, you get 100 people, and they're paying $25 a ticket. All right, what does that come out to?
$2,500.
Right, so I get $2,500. But now I raise that $75 a ticket, not 100. We're not doing 100.
You said 100 people.
No, I know, but now I'm doing $75 a ticket, and 50 people don't renew their passes, so we only have 50 left. How much more did I make for a less crowded?
$1,250.
I made an additional $1,250, and I'm servicing half of the people. So that's the mentality there. Is you raise your price, maybe you price out a subset of the population,
The poor people.
And now you've got a different consumer base in your park.
The 1%.
You've got less people, which I don't know.
So you just want the
Normies.
1% in your park. I thought you were on the other side of that. You've
So-
really betrayed me right now.
So I mean, so this is business strategy, right? Like this is just
See what you can get away with for how long.
not only that, but like if you're going grocery shopping, which grocery store are you going to go to that you're on the highway? You get off the highway, you can go to a Winn-Dixie, you can go to an Aldi, you can go to Publix, you can go to Whole Foods.
What am I
Where you
getting?
going?
That matters.
I love you for that. I understand that, and that's what I think is how many people should think is what am I getting? If I'm looking for meats and cheeses, then I'm going to Walmart, or I'm going to Food for Less, or I'm going to a place where I can get a bargain. But if I want seltzer water, I'm going to Publix or Whole Foods. Right?
Seltzer water.
I don't know. I was thinking of something pretentious, but like when we would establish businesses, like we have product X, and product X sells for this. Our target market are going to be these people. We want to position our stores next to a Publix, next to a Sprint or an AT&T or a Verizon store. We want to avoid Albertsons. We want to avoid
Dang, remember Albertsons? What if I go
right?
back?
Right. We want to avoid Metro PCS stores. We don't want to be next to a pawnbroker, because that the demographic in the surrounding area changes. Right. So if I'm trying to sell an $8 soft pretzel, I want to sell it to the person who can afford $200 a day to enter. Right. Not necessarily, and I'm not saying this to be cruel or that it has to be punishing. This is just a fact of commerce, right? If you raise your prices and enough people back out of it, you can still make more money off of the people who can afford to come and see you, and then you thin out the crowd a little bit.
So, but again, the people who can afford to come do it, guess what? You priced out the normies. Period.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that's business, right? I understand the process there. I'm not saying do it, and I'm not saying don't do it. How do you feel though? Knowing where you came from and how it felt to finally have the opportunity to go there. I emote, and that's part of why I continue to renew my pass, is because I emote with the idea that this was something that my mom, my parents couldn't or wouldn't give to me because of monetary constraints. And as an adult, it's something that I can give to myself, and I'm going to indulge because I feel like I deserve it.
I mean, I've never I don't really think about to that level until I think about it, but it is something that I enjoy very much, and it's something that, like Ashley said, it's practically an interest-free loan. And not for nothing, you can cancel at any time if things do get hard, or God forbid there's an emergency. You know what? We can't handle this ticket anymore. Life is happening, and then just obviously there's no benefit of having continuous passes. It's not like it keeps you at the price. So
That's a whole different. I'm not trying to activate you today.
but it is something that I like, and it's I don't know. I really enjoy going to Disney. It gives me joy.
Yeah, I agree.
I love it around the holidays. I love it
How do you put a price on that?
on joy.
Yeah.
I like to charge anywhere between. No,
I just,
The going rate is.
just give me a little extra, you get a little happy ending.
oh my God. Why?
Exactly. Sorry. All right. So yeah. So I think we're on the same page there. Do we have a buffet balance for this? Meaning, like, how many times do you have to go to beat the buffet?
Oh, for the annual pass.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, last time I did it, we had to go at least 8 times.
Okay.
That was the last time I did it.
How many times do you go a year? Just curious.
I mean, I would definitely say it's easy to pass the 8. I don't know where we're at right now, and there'll be times, we understand it's not an every month situation. There'll be months that we don't make it, but there'll be months where we hit it, 3 or 4 times during that month, or 2 or 3 times even during a week. So
Yeah.
we certainly do. We make it a point. We do surpass it, and if there is that one year that maybe for whatever reason we didn't, the years that we do surpass it, I feel like it's a balance. We have we have our movie pass, and the movies are only 10 minutes away from us, but just life and things and being busy, like sometimes we'll hit a month and we unfortunately aren't able to make it, or maybe there aren't movies that are entice us that badly to see.
Yeah.
But the months that we go 2 or 3 times a week more than make up for it.
We went recently to go see the How to Train Your Dragon live action.
Oh, how was that? Talk to us about it.
It's very good. But the most important piece of this story is that I used my meta glasses to record the roller coaster ride for the before the previews begin for at Regal. I'm gonna text it to you.
I didn't see that this time.
Oh well, thank God
I actually
recorded
went
it.
to Regal to see Lilo and Stitch.
How was
And I
that?
did not see the roller coaster ride.
I'll send it to you so that you can relive it.
No, that's okay. I don't
Put it
need
on
it.
your TV and you put your hands up.
No. And we watched it in 40X. So
Oh.
that's our perfect
Tell me about
opportunity.
it. Bitch, tell me
You guys
about
should
that.
go back
That's-
and watch
No.
How to Train Your Dragon in 40X.
I ain't trying to get car sick. But tell me about
But
it.
you
Tell me about it. 'cause
you
I
ride
actually
over
was trying to tell you.
mountains.
Yeah, but tell me how did you feel? Because you saw 40X Stitch.
Yes,
What was it?
40X. Stitch.
How'd it go? Tell me about what it was like. Tell me about it. It was like a ride. Did you
was-
ride the movies? That's a Universal.
I
Play,
did.
yeah.
It was like it was cool because I got there early enough to watch the previews.
Ride the previews too?
But that's what I was gonna say. Not all the previews
Are
have
rideable?
the 40X effect, right? So How to Train Your Dragon was one of the ones that actually like they really want you to see it in 40X, and I think it'd be a good one to see.
How much was it? How much was a ticket for 40X?
It's like 18 change.
That's it?
Yeah, bro.
You feel like you missed out now, don't you?
Dang, 18.
You should do it.
That might be $2 less than what we actually paid to watch that. In those banged up recliners. We sit in the most banged up seats because we're always trying to get back row dead center. The most popular seat in the house. That thing's like a fucking petri dish full of disease. That's what we should test.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm,
And then you start spraying it, like come with wipies.
Yeah, and licking your fingers full of butter and touching those buttons and stuff. Everything's good
Oh
there.
my
yeah.
God, Jesus,
Imagine the
why?
fecal matter that's just in that cup holder.
I don't know what else me.
Mm-hmm. The cleanest seat in the
Imagine.
house has to be like front row, all the way to the left. Which that seat's
All the way to the left, not even center. Don't.
no, yeah, it's like brand fucking new. Yeah. I wonder, do you get a discount if you have a wheelchair? Because you're not using their seat. You just roll into a space.
I cannot. You do not get a discount. You guys are ridiculous.
I mean, we go. I'm sorry, I'm getting canceled.
I don't know that they have a
being
40X
ableist.
here.
It's not ableist.
Orlando or Orlando would probably be the closest to us. There's Dania Beach, North Naples, Jacksonville, Kendall Lakes, and Orlando.
Wow,
For
you guys are
40X.
so fortunate.
40X?
Lucky
Yeah.
to live in that space.
Wow.
Yeah, we would drive by the 40X all the time.
Oh, the one in Dania?
That is so.
That's not that far from me. Oh, not far. Dang, you guys are like, dang, that's messed up. How do we get one to open by you? What do we do? Do we call Josh?
Yes, call
Yeah.
Josh. Call him up. 1-800 Disney.
Dad.
Yeah, you say Gad. You keep hoping.
No, your hometown doesn't have a theater. What the fuck?
I mean, we have a
store.
theater. We just don't have.
A 40X. A 40X.
Yeah, we need a
Who's supposed to enjoy
40X.
40X.
Exactly. All right, this feels like a good place to end it, to hang it up.
You're not going to check our
Wait.
mail?
We don't have that in the mail. Nobody sent us mail. If you want to send us mail, send it to us at thedankpod@gmail.com. I'd be happy to see.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't send us your bills. That's such a dad joke. Why don't you stop me before the shit comes out of my mouth? Anyone have any final thoughts on the normies?
We're so.
Oh my God. Listen, everybody, listen.
Listen,
So no
Linda.
one told you. No, everybody starts off at the bottom and you just got to keep going. You're going to keep pushing. You're going to get better. You're going to grow. You're going to get raises. You're going to get new positions. Nobody hopefully, it's like Jeremy's dad says, like, working at McDonald's isn't your forever job. You know, like you're going to,
It can be if you want it to be.
I mean, it can't, right. But then also you're going to not be at 14 an hour forever. You're going to, at least don't be in the same.
Mhm.
Listen, if you want to be in the same thing for the rest of your life, that's fine. But you need to understand you can't afford everything. It's fine. You
Yeah.
gotta accept it. You got to plan accordingly. You got to plan for
Yeah.
like 2 years to spend a day at Disney. That's all.
Yeah.
Save those tax returns.
Yeah, exactly. Get that earned child income tax credit thing going on.
Oh my gosh.
I love it. All right. Yeah. No, I mean, you're right. You're right. It's going to suck now, maybe. And as you move on through life, things will get better. And hopefully your first trip to Disney won't be when your kids sprinkle your ashes in the Haunted Mansion.
my
All right. On that note,
Stay dank.
stay dank.
Thanks for tuning into another episode of the Dank Pod. Remember to like, follow, subscribe, and share wherever you listen. Send your feedback and questions to us at thedankpod@gmail.com. Join us next week when we chat about the best holidays to visit parks. Until next time, stay dank.